in the history of our country. More Americans are working today than ever before. This week, it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened. It was just given out. The media reported it, and we accept it. The best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars, like with the provisions, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors, along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America, and a 100% expensing for our job-creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. And your 401ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy, because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov, this will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov and take advantage of it. But the cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by companies and individuals to take care of our children so that at age 18, they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account, and they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to TrumpAccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up. Our previously wide open borders have been transformed into the most secure borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months. That is 0. Nobody thought it was possible. We had the worst border in the history of our country, and now we have the best. Crime is plummeting nationwide, with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran, and you will see the fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back and doing really well, but we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed, because no country can be great without fair and honest elections. You have to trust your country, because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure, one where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard. Tonight, I'm announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes, and really exposes like levels never thought possible, to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you, the American people, our beautiful, our great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity. You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our purpose in disclosing this information is not to weaken confidence in election, but to earn that confidence by confronting vulnerabilities and correcting them very, very quickly. And that's what we're doing. The documents cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, in our intelligence agency work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China. Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and hidden. They did not disclose to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard, very pat line that was divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason. As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election. Isn't that nice? Also, in mid-2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections and later the results of the 2020 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could, and they didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them, charged them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs, and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden. Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities related to the election. Another official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government, unquote, to keep intelligence about China's election meddling from becoming known and to keep it away from the honorable press. Other officials who witnessed such efforts perceived the motivations to be blatantly political. Recently, we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation, and this is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned. These bags were supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bags. But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems. Dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings, and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026, This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. And that's exactly what happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was in the past. The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned. They couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI in Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, state voter rolls and public records, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal elections. Since Democrat states refuse to share their voter files, the real number is actually much higher than that. Yet, even this limited analysis found more than 250,000 foreigners illegally registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking and manipulation and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls. And yet we still have elections with no voter ID, no proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago on July 10th. Think of that, much more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we want is honesty in our elections and honesty in reporting. They pay nothing for multi-billion-dollar assets. Great damage has been done to our country. Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be together, Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was compromised by the People's Republic of China and many others. We will be working closely to mitigate any harm, and we're taking swift action to ensure that sensitive voter data is better protected so we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states and local jurisdictions to help them fix and patch known technical vulnerabilities before the midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists immediately. But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act. How easy is that to do unless you want to cheat? The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so bad and your candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please? And hopefully there will be no corrupt mail-in ballots, which if you watched California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently corrupt. So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or travel if you're going away on business or vacation. These reforms are urgently needed to stop the vulnerabilities that I've mentioned. To all Americans, I ask you to pick up your phone tomorrow, call your representatives in the House and Senate, and demand that they pass the Save America Act without delay. Together, we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military, and God bless America. Thank you very much. What happened?
God bless you. God bless you guys. And God bless the United States of America and nobody else. No, I'm just kidding. Well, that was his speech. I don't know what I was expecting. I thought I was expecting a little more. I don't know. I think the internet. I need to leave. I need to leave social media alone. I think I do. I was expecting something else. I don't know what I was expecting, but yeah, um, yeah. So, um, how's everybody doing? Let me see. Let me see here. Hey, it's going, Chantel. You said give us the short and easy. He was very presidential tonight. Let me see. Yeah, he said that election was stolen. You sound half sleep yourself, Max. It's just the air quality out here is bad. I've been smelling that all day. It's giving me a headache. I'm a little sensitive to it, and it's gonna get worse. It's actually gonna be ground level to smoke. It's gonna be crazy tomorrow. He said setting up a rig to steal the election. Cleveland is bad too. Yeah, it's kind of horrible, and on top of it, it's hot. On top of it, yeah, and on top of it, it's like blazing hot. What time is it now? It cooled down a little bit, but the air quality is in the red right now. Let me see something real quick. Hold on a second. Yeah, so well, that was his speech. To get rid of the nation of the deep state, you can expect martial. Well, to get rid of the deep state is going to be, in order for that to happen, something big has to happen. He said you can expect martial law at some point very soon to grab individuals guilty of treason You're coming from Canada, Christy. All right, so I have a story from 2 elections ago. I think it was what story? What was that when he was running for president the second time or the first time? No, the second time. When I went to go vote, they didn't ask me for ID. They didn't. They just said you can go vote. I said, how do you know it's me? They said, oh yeah, we. I like how you know it's me. I caught him out there. I said, you're not gonna want to see my ID to check me off the list. What if I go in here 3 or 4 times? You guys just gonna let me vote 3 or 4 times? They were doing that. And there was people in there that I know, like, this person shouldn't be in here voting. I could tell. They didn't even ask for ID. So something was up with that. You could have just walked right up in there and voted. They didn't want to see no ID. Until I showed them, I said, y'all gonna look at my ID. I said, because how do you know I wasn't already in here? And they was like, you weren't already in here, were you? Like, no. So that's how I know something was up with that. There is a deep state situation, and a lot of these protesters are getting paid. And I don't even want to get into that because especially when you talk him, man, it's beyond Trump, man. But we only look at him, and we don't look at Izzy and the rest of them. So I don't even want to get into it. I just wanted to listen to his speech. That's all. Um, he called the president of the United States of America a what? They shut pools down because of it. Yeah, it's pretty bad here, and it's hot on top of it, and that's not a good. That's not good. With the smoke like this and it's hot, a lot of people gonna be going to the hospital. It's so that it's the smoke is gonna get so thick out here. You can get smoke inhalation. That's I might if that's the case, I'm leaving. I'm going down south. Even though the smoke is gonna probably reach down there. Probably is because it happened last time. That last time when it was burning in Canada, the smoke reached Virginia and stuff. We was smelling it. And it was bad too, even down there. You said Rice of America. He's a yeah, but here's the thing. I want to say this. Our lives haven't changed. It hasn't. It hasn't stopped nobody from making money. I would just say don't worry about it. I shouldn't even put this speech on anyway because I don't like talking about it no more. I really don't. But anyway, I'm gonna we all been in bondage since Nixon. Yeah, that did happen in his administration. Moved off the gold standard. And it even says it on there. It says it's a promissory note. And you know what it's backed by? The United States military. That's what it's worth. As strong as our military. That's what the dollar's worth. It's not a silver note or gold note anymore, even though I still have one as a relic. It says silver note on it. Who's going to run in 2028? I'm not sure. You said yes, every American citizen needs a photo ID. You went abroad and you had to show photo. Well, I'm talking about at the polls. They didn't even ask for my photo ID. And I had to check them on it. I said, why aren't you, here's my ID. Oh, we don't need it. I said, what's my name then? That's what I said. What's my name? Oh no. What is your name? Then they wanted to know my name. And then they looked on the list. Okay, you can go. Anybody could have voted that day at that place. Anybody. That was done by accident. That was done on purpose, actually. You said, well, let's talk about the effects and not him. It's more than just him. He's just a person to blame. You got to look at Congress and you got to look at Izzy. That's who we blame. They're the ones in charge, especially Izzy is. You said they always ask for yours at your precinct. Here's the thing. I walk right up to the voting. I wish, and you know what? They had somebody out there so we couldn't take video. I wish I could have videotaped it. I walked right in there and nobody said anything to me. I said, wait a minute. Here's my ID. Oh, we don't need it. He said we don't need it. And he said, you wasn't here twice, were you? I said, no. I showed him anyway, just so I could feel better about the process. You said you voted in 2 states. Damn, Chantel, you voted in 2. How you vote in 2 states? Man, I know you were interesting. You are interesting. You are. So Trump is right. That this thing was rigged. He was right. It's rigged in some type of way. But that's interesting. We said 2 states. Dang. Man, that's one for the record books, Chantel. You said it wasn't malicious. I had recently moved. Oh, I get it. I get it. You didn't think your vote was gonna count because you moved? Because if you voted already, it already counted. And you know what? They let you vote again because they probably saw who, like, I'm not saying who, don't say who you voted for, but they probably saw it. Oh, okay, you forwarded. Okay. I don't know. Let me think. You forwarded your ballot to, yeah, I think that's I don't know about that one. They may have counted you once, but I don't think there's no way of knowing, Chantel. I don't. I think you could have voted twice. There's no way of, they don't check it. The system needs to be revamped. It does. And that's what he was talking about. Now, here's the thing. How did he win the election then? If it was rigged, how did he win? Because you know why? They must have had to do something on his end. That's why he know. They must have had to do something to counteract it. Remember, he had Musk on his side, Elon on his side. And Elon, his girlfriend was talking about one time, he was talking about he had the satellites working on it. He said he had special things in the and on the satellites that's controlling it. You said there is, and I can't check anywhere. Yeah, you just can't. Yeah. Yeah, I think they will pass the daylight savings. I voted on. I mean, I bet on it. Yeah, I think so. It's finally they need to do that, and then it'll be signed by the president. I think that need to happen because my days are shifted in the winter because I don't like being out at night doing what I have to do. So I think they should fix it. One thing you just said, they're applying high taxes and control seven mountains of influence. You said Max likes to entertain the. Hold on, let me see what you're saying. The interdimensional beings, but we need divine intervention. You just said Max. That's hilarious. What do you mean? I like the. That's hilarious. I'm just, I can't do anything. To be honest with you, is yeah, the air quality is bad. That's why I'm kind of sounding down. Um, you said daylight is now officially changed since Tuesday. What do you mean that it changed since Tuesday? Did they pass it until did he sign it? I think we should have more daylight anyway. They already voted on it in the House. Okay. All right. It has to pass. I know. Then he's have to sign off on it. The Senate has to vote. Okay. We'll see. We'll see if we make it out the Senate. I think it will. This is like I'm telling you, man. This is And what's the status on Senator McConnell? Anybody know? Like, what's his status? Yeah, we need additional time because the winter is just depressing. It gets dark like really early. Like it's just not good. You think he's brain dead? So they wait until August to tell us? That is something else. They wait until August, huh? You said I'm giving you hints, Max, what to expect, so you can be sound when you report events that transpire shortly. Be expecting to see things this summer leading into August. You think he's gone? So they're gonna announce it August 7th then, or August 3rd. Because if they announce it August 3rd, they don't have to fill it. Well, no, they said there's nothing on law that says that, so they would have to fill his Senate seat. That's ridiculous. Why are they just waiting? Like it's just crazy. Just announce it. But no, they put that picture out there, and everybody's saying that picture looks fake. Him just laying there. He just laying there smiling. It looked like nothing wrong with him. I know, right? We need them hints. I know. He said he's gonna educate us. You said what in the weekend that Bernie's is going on? It's just ridiculous. I think I don't know. I wish I could let y'all hear. I want y'all to hear this. This guy feels as though he feels strongly about this, that we entered a different timeline. He's so serious about it. It's funny. He said Keith Edwards already proved it fake AI photo. He's still in the hospital recovering. Mitch. Um, and I don't know what happened to the other senator. This is ridiculous. He went over to Ukraine and came back just dead, died. That's suspicious. You said Christy Wolf hopes he gets well. Best of luck to him. Health as well. You said I missed everything. You didn't miss anything. You didn't. You didn't miss anything. I don't know. I was expecting more, but no, you didn't miss anything. You said, look at you being all nice and stuff. Yeah, you being nice, Jen. What's going on? You being all nice. That's good. That's good. You got to be nice in this world. You got to be nice. Yeah, you didn't miss nothing. I'm serious. You didn't miss anything. I was expecting more, but he just went up there, did a little bit and left the microphone. That's it. He's tired. He is. He's tired. Every time he turn around, something popping off. He said this smoke has your dog going through it. What's wrong with your dog? Yeah, just like he clocked in and clocked. That's what it seemed like. It didn't seem like a regular speech he does. He just went up there and got off. He ready to go. You know what he ready to do, right? Oh, what is that? Damn, that hurts. Holy crap. Oh, what the hell did I do? Um, he's ready to go play golf. That's what he's ready to do. He ready to go play golf, man. Or figure out something to bring to the White House. Because the last time he brought the UFC, he said for Trump to be 80 years old and the US president, he's doing well. Yeah, he is. He plays golf. I mean, I told people he was okay. He was like, nah, he's not okay. Yes, he is. If he can hit a golf ball like that, he hit it harder. He hit it longer than me. Ain't nothing wrong with him, man. It's just the presidency is very tiresome. Tiresome. It wears you out. You see, Biden seemed like he's all right now because we thought he was on his way out of here. But as soon as he got out, he started looking better. You said Mitch McConnell, not your senator. Yeah, he moving around. And he don't sleep either. He don't. He's up tweeting and all types of stuff. I thought I was bad. He got me beat. He said his side quest as president turned out not to be fun as he thought it would be. Yeah. He thought he'd go in there, to make a few things happen, Chantel, make a little money. Uh-uh. It turned out to be all hell. They not letting him rest. They took his plane away from him. He's 80. He just turned 80 in June. They took his plane away from him. He had got a new plane. They took it because they saying they don't trust Qatar. He just want to play golf at this point, man. At this point, you know. But now he got to figure out how to deal with Iran. He probably like F it at this point. That's what I would be like. Hey, if they look, it is what it is, man. But yeah, it's turning out not like how he expected. Don't say that, Christy. That's bad luck. You don't wish death for nobody. That is, I have to counteract that because it's in my chat. That is very bad luck. It is. Don't do it. Don't do it. This one guy on Instagram, he's like famous for saying that Trump, he ain't got long left and this and that. So I hit him up the other day. I said, you just sitting up here lying. That's what you're doing. You don't know what his health is like. You said he had 30 days 6 months ago. What's wrong with you? I said, why are you sitting up here saying he ain't got long left when your ass could go? Nobody knows when they're gonna leave here. Nobody knows. Look at that kid that just passed away that drowned. He was a teenager. So you never know. Oh, I'm about to get back to that. I found the audio of what his father said. So I'm about to make a video on that. Look out for that. It proves that something happened to him. His father knows. His father know they did something. But I think it's going to be a cover up, and I don't think you're going to be able to prove it. You know why? Here's my final assessment on it. When the dad went to get the car, it's very telling. He said he was a friend. He was like a brother to me, a friend of mine. But he said it in the past tense. That's how that kid knew he was dead already. But they haven't declared him dead yet. He was just missing. So something happened to him, and I believe they pushed him off the boat. That's what I believe. I believe he got pushed off. That's why nobody saw it. But damn, I believe he got pushed off that. And he tried to get back on. They kept going with the boat, man. I think so. Or he got pushed off and hit his head and went down. They couldn't get him back or something. But I am certain some bad foul play happened. But I don't think they're going to be able to prove it. It just depends on the autopsy. If the autopsy is not showing like a struggle or anything, how are they going to be able to prove it and make arrest unless somebody is talking and giving up information? That's what I think is happening. I think somebody's giving up information. But I'll get into that on the video. That's what I'm about to do in a second. You said there's too many on the boat for someone to not crack and tell. Not everyone will stay on code. We're going to have to wait and see. I honestly believe somebody is talking. That's what I think. Somebody might be talking. But how he did it, he fell off the boat. He might have hit his head or whatever the case is, and he didn't make it back on the boat. That's why that makes sense why his phone and keys stayed on the boat. No, they don't have surveillance. They don't. That island doesn't have surveillance. I think it needs it. They should hide it somewhere. See, the thing is, Raymond, if he was pushed off, it's gonna be hard to prove of that he was in a struggle. It's just gonna look like an accidental drowning unless somebody start talking. You said I'm talking. Wait, let me see. You said I am talking for a few granola bars and some Gatorade. You're damn right. I talk for a lot less. I talk just for a cold glass of water. I'm gonna start talking. Okay, that's all you need. You need some Saratoga water. Yeah, give me a cold Saratoga. Yeah, they were drunk. You know how it is, and things got crazy. But we're not gonna be able to prove it though, guys. I'm afraid I'm just gonna say that. I don't see how they're gonna be able to prove it unless someone is talking. If nobody's talking, that's it. But there's no statute of limitations on murder. Somebody could talk 5 years from now and it can happen. Yeah, I'm telling on everybody. Like, let's say if I didn't even know them. Let's say if I just happened to be out there on the trip, I'm telling on all of them. I'm telling. I'm going on every news publication, everything. Well, Max, what happened? I was going back, but I saw him. And well, how did you see him out on my night vision goggles? Max, you had night vision Yep, I had night vision goggles and I saw the struggle. Okay. They threw that man over that boat. Damn, Max, that's interesting. So you really did have night vision goggles. That's right. I hadn't had regular goggles. I had night vision goggles. I saw it. Okay. I'll be sitting there. I'll be glad to tell on them. I'll be sitting up there. Hello, how's everybody doing today? You know, when I get on stand, Ryan, hey Judge, how are you? How's everybody doing today? I hope everybody's having a blessed day. You heard me? And look, and then I'll sit down. I hope everybody is having a blessed day. Okay, Max, let's take it from the top. Is this your first time out there? Yes, it was my first time out there, and someone recommended that we go to Horn Island. I didn't want to go at first, but then I said, you know what? Why not? You only live once. So I went. Okay, well, tell us what you saw. I said, all them boys on the boat, they all left, and he left with them. Max, he left with him. Yeah, he sure did. And they didn't know I was watching, but I was like miles away, but I zoomed in on my night vision goggles and I saw the man go over the edge. I saw it. Some people saying, well, Max, it wasn't involving everybody on the boat. I said, no, it involved whoever he was struggling with. That's what happened. And I believe they dope fiend him. I believe he got dope fiend. You know, if you know what that means sucker punch. And he fell over. Because if you look at the boat, it ain't hard to fall off that boat. It's not hard at all. It is not hard to fall off that little rinky-dink boat. See, that's why I'm not going to get on no boat like that. First of all, I'm too heavy. I'm not getting on no boat like that. I'm just not doing it. I'm telling you, I'll be like, "Hello, guys. How are you today, Christy? How you? I hope you guys are having a blessed day." Max, when you raise your right hand, yes, I can. Now raise my right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth when you testify today, Mr. Max? Do you swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Yes, so help me God. Look, I'm being extra with it. Yes, so help me God. And I sit down. Max, can you spell your name for the court reporter? Yes, my name is Maxwell V. Wonder the third. No relation to Stevie. Okay. X is in X-ray. V is in Victor. W is in Mr. Wonderful. So, Max, on that fateful day, where were you? I was on the island. I was on the island watching these fools. I sure was. I'm sitting up there telling. So I don't care what they say. They be like, "Do you know any of the suspects?" I don't know any of them. I just know they were doing the most that day. So Max, when you said they were doing the most, like, what do you mean by that? They were doing everything possible to go to jail. And not only did I see the body, I saw them. They got them right over the damn boat. That's what they did. You said, "Tell us a good joke." That's gonna cost you, Christy. I guess I can give you a joke. Let me see. Why don't scientists trust atoms, Christy? Why don't scientists trust atoms? You know why? Because they make up everything. Yeah, you like that. There are only 10 types of people in the world, Christy. Those who understand binary and those who don't. Y'all blame Christy, man, for my dry ass jokes. She said tell her a joke before she go to bed or something. She need me to tell her a joke for her bedtime. She do this to me all the time. Max, tell me something new. And then watch, she gonna like, I'm about to go to bed. Watch. I don't know. She gonna have to I'm gonna have to start charging Christy for these jokes. All right. I'm gonna have to start charging. I'm gonna have to start charging her, man. I'm gonna have to start charging because she do this and then she's gone. So yeah, I'm working on this thing, this video I'm working on. It's gonna be an upload of the dad saying what they said when he got the car keys back. It's very telling because he said he was like my brother. What you saying was it's past tense. They knew he was gone that night. They knew he was gone. Well, for those that like true crime stories, this is it. This is a good one for you. For those that like it, because a lot of the true crime people are in it. So if you guys like true crime, this is it. But it's a whole mess, though. It is. I just don't know. I think they just got in a fight, and something happened, and yeah, that's what I think. Something great, and I don't think no boats were around at the time. Yeah, so I don't know. But hey, but at the end of the day, when the autopsy come back, if there's no like obvious foul play, I just don't see how they're gonna make arrests unless somebody cooperate. To be honest with, they're just gonna stick with that narrative where we don't know where he went. So, but anyway, um, true crime, it's gonna be talked about for a while. It really is. But guys, I'm gonna be back. I might be back a little later. I'm not sure because I want to cover that again, but I want to work on this video. I'll be back. If not, I don't talk to you. Have a good night. And for those that's out here dealing with the smoke, we just gonna have to wear a mask, I guess. We're gonna have to wear a mask. So if it gets any worse, because I smell it now. So probably got to wear a mask. You know how it is. I will catch you guys on the next one. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one.